You walk into a room without trying to look stunning, without adjusting your hair, without thinking about how your body looks or whether anyone is paying attention. You breathe in, take a step forward, maybe still scrolling your phone or fixing your bag strap, and yet the moment you enter the space, something shifts. Not loudly, not dramatically, just enough that if you were a little more aware, you'd feel it in the air, like a warm ripple moving toward you before you even understand why. Because somewhere in that room, a man has already noticed you, not because of how you look, but because of something deeper, something you don't see in yourself, but he feels instantly. His chest tightens almost imperceptibly, his breath pauses, his nervous system lights up in a way he can't control. And in that split second, he's not thinking, he's reacting. Something about you wakes up his primal wiring, the instinctive, ancient part of him that noticed softness, warmth, presence, and feminine energy long before he notices anything physical. You don't realize it, but he's staring. Not at the parts you assume men focus on. Not at the surface level beauty women spend years perfecting. He's staring because your presence hits him like a quiet shock, an emotional jolt that pulls his attention without his permission. Your energy, your expression, the way you move, even the stillness around you, it all draws him in before he consciously decides to look. And what's fascinating is this. The places he stares at are not the places you monitor in the mirror. They're not the features you critique or compare. They're not the things you think men want. There's something far more intimate, far more revealing, far more connected to desire, safety, and the subconscious language men never talk about. Because when a man is truly turned on body, heart, and nervous system, his eyes drift to 5 specific places on a woman. 5 places that tell him everything he needs to know about the connection between you. 5 places he studies without meaning to, because they signal something that feels both alluring and emotionally dangerous. And the most surprising part, most women have absolutely no idea. You'll see exactly what he stares at in just a moment, but first you need to understand why his eyes go there and what that means about the way he feels about you. The first place his eyes go when desire hits him, your mouth. There's a moment a man won't admit to, not even to his closest friends. A moment so small, so quick that it almost looks like nothing, but inside him it's everything. It's the moment his eyes fall to your mouth. And not because he's thinking of anything physical, not at first. It's because your lips send a signal to something ancient inside him, something coded into his primal nervous system long before modern rules, dating apps, or relationship strategies ever existed. When he's turned on, truly turned on, his eyes don't dart to your body the way you imagine. They land on your mouth almost automatically. It's the place where emotion and attraction collide for him. It's where softness meets mystery, where silence can still feel intimate, where words have been spoken yet, but connection is already forming in the quiet space between you. There's a stillness that comes over him when he looks at your lips, a slowing down, like his breath softens or his chest expands a little deeper. He won't realize he's doing it, but his whole nervous system is paying attention. Your mouth tells him more about your emotions than anything else. The slight curve of a smile, the way you bite your lip without noticing, the warmth in your expression. It's all information he absorbs before he even processes it. Women often underestimate this. You think your lips only matter when you're speaking. But for a man, they matter the moment you simply exist in his line of sight. Because your mouth represents something powerful to him. Emotional safety. Not in the logical way, but in the instinctive, subconscious way. Your lips reveal whether you're open, closed off, playful, nervous, confident, curious, or guarded. Before you say a single word, your mouth tells him how close he wants to get or how close he can get. When he's attracted, he studies every micro movement. The way you lick them when you're thinking. The way you smile slowly instead of fast. The way you form your words, soft and warm, like they're coming from a deeper place in you and not just your mind. He feels all of this, not consciously, but through sensation. His chest tightens slightly, his stomach warms, his skin becomes more alert, like the air around you suddenly feels charged. This is his primal wiring waking up, responding to something subtle and feminine in you. Your lips speak a language you don't even hear, but he feels every bit of it. And here's the part most women don't know, when a man is really turned on, not just physically, but emotionally. His eyes fall to your mouth because he's imagining connection before contact. He's thinking of what it feels like to be close to you, the warmth of your breath, the softness of your voice when you speak softly, the way your lips move when you laugh or whisper something personal. It's not sexual. It's sensual. It's emotional. He could be across the room, barely noticing anyone else, but the moment you wet your lips or smile with that slow, almost shy confidence, you pull him in. You make his nervous system lean toward you without moving an inch. You make his chest feel warmer, like he's breathing you in without even touching you. Your mouth is the first place he looks, because it's the place where desire feels safe and dangerous at the same time. Safe, because your lips reveal softness, vulnerability, connection. Dangerous, because he knows one look could make him want more from you than he planned. And he'll never tell you this. He'll never say, your mouth pulls me in. He'll never admit that your lips make him forget the conversation he was having, or that a tiny smile from you can reset his whole mood. But you'll notice it if you really watch him. The glance, the pause, the quiet inhale, the sudden focus that wasn't there a second ago. That's desire. Not the loud kind, the intimate kind. And it always starts with your mouth, even if he pretends it doesn't. The second place his eyes drift, your neck and collar area. There's something almost poetic about the way a man looks at a woman's neck when he's turned on. Not physically turned on in the obvious way, but emotionally, instinctively, deeply. It's one of the most vulnerable places on the human body, yet most women don't even realize how much power lies there. The softness of your collarbone, the gentle curve beneath your ear, the warmth of your skin in that delicate space, it all pulls him in without you doing a thing. A man won't tell you this, but when his eyes drift to your neck, his desire shifts from simple attraction into something more primal. It taps into a part of his nervous system that responds to subtlety, sensitivity, and femininity long before it responds to anything physical. Your neck is where your heartbeat is visible. It's where emotion sits. It's where vulnerability lives in plain sight. And men, though they pretend to be invulnerable, are drawn to vulnerability more than anything. When he glances at your neck, it's rarely intentional. It's instinct. It's the place his eyes go when he's trying not to make his interest too obvious. Because unlike staring at your lips, which gives him away, looking at your neck feels safer for him. He thinks you won't notice. But you would if you understood what it means. There's something about that area, the softness, the warmth, the quiet pulse beneath your skin that triggers a deeper kind of attraction in him. It makes him imagine how you smell up close. It makes him aware of how feminine you are. It makes him want to lean in, not out. It makes him feel drawn towards you with a quiet pull that doesn't need permission. Most women never think about their neck. You think about your hair, your face, your clothes, but your neck, you forget how powerful it is. Yet when a man's eyes fall there, everything changes in him. His breath slows, his focus sharpens, something in his chest tightens. Not with lust, but with longing. Because your neck signals more than beauty, it signals intimacy. The skin there is thinner, more sensitive. The space is quiet, unguarded. It's where your emotions subtly appear, heat rising when you're shy, skin glowing when you're excited, a small tension when you're nervous. He studies this without knowing why. He feels the connection before he understands it. That's why when you tilt your head even slightly, he notices. When you brush your hair away instinctively, he notices. When you laugh and your collarbone lifts, he notices. These tiny moments hit him in the part of his brain that responds not to visuals, but to emotion. Inside him, something whispers, she feels soft, she feels warm, she feels safe to be close to. And that feeling, emotional safety wrapped in sensual softness, is one of the rarest combinations a man ever experiences. It's not just your neck he sees, it's the woman underneath. It's the way your energy opens without you meaning to. If you've ever wondered why a man suddenly goes quiet around you, why he shifts closer, why he seems almost hypnotized for a moment, it's often because his eyes landed on your neck and something in him softened, something in him awakened. To him, your neck isn't just a body part. It's a doorway into your femininity, your stillness, your emotional world. It's where he feels your warmth before he touches you. It's where he senses your presence without words. He may not consciously think, I'm staring at her neck because I'm drawn to her, but his nervous system thinks it for him. And in that quiet, unspoken moment, his desire becomes deeper, gentler, and far more intimate than you imagine. The third place his eyes linger, your hands. There's something quietly magnetic about a woman's hands. something more. Women never think about, and yet it's one of the first places a man's eyes drift when he's genuinely drawn to you. Not in the obvious way, not in the dramatic movie scene way, but in the subtle, unintentional, deeply instinctive way his body responds when his interest is real. Your hands reveal what your words never say. The softness of your fingertips, the gentle movements when you talk, the way you hold a cup, adjust your hair, or brush something off your shoulder, all these tiny motions communicate warmth, calmness, and emotional openness. Men notice that. They feel it more than they understand it. When a man is turned on by you, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, he studies your hands without meaning to. He watches how you touch the world around you. He notices whether your hands move with softness or tension. He pays attention to how you hold objects, how you gesture when you're passionate, how your fingers curl when you're shy. Your hands tell him if you're comfortable. Your hands tell him if you're nervous. Your hands tell him if you're open to connection. He sees all of that even if he couldn't explain it. There's a reason his breath slows a little when he watches you adjust your sleeve or tuck your hair behind your ear. Something about the delicacy of your fingers triggers an ancient part of his nervous system that responds to femininity. Not the loud kind, but the quiet, grounded, emotionally warm kind that makes him want to lean closer. Your hands show him your softness in a way your face sometimes hides. And what's even more beautiful is this. Your hands make him imagine what it would feel like if you touched him. Not in a sexual way, in an emotional way. The warmth of your palm against his arm. The way your fingertips might rest on his chest when you're laughing. The gentleness you might show if you ever held his face or fixed something on his shirt. These are small, human, intimate fantasies that men never talk about. Because when he's into you, he doesn't just want your attention, he wants your touch. When you talk with your hands, when you play with your jewelry, when you pull your sleeves down because you're cold, he notices the softness behind it all. And sometimes he stares because your hands calm him. They soothe something restless inside him. Your movements slow his nervous system the same way a warm touch can calm a racing mind. He may look at your lips for desire. He may look at your neck for intimacy. But he looks at your hands for connection. There's a silent story in the way you move them. A story he can't help but follow with his eyes. And when he lingers on your hands a little too long, it's because some part of him is imagining what it would be like to feel chosen by you. To feel your fingers close around his, to feel the warmth and softness you don't even realize you carry. Your hands don't just attract him, they invite him. They tell him something his heart feels before his mind catches up. And that's why he stares longer than he should, even if he never admits it. The fourth place his eyes rest, your eyes, but not the way you think. There's a moment, subtle, almost invisible, when a man's entire attention shifts toward you. It doesn't happen when you smile, or when you pose, or when you try to look pretty. It happens in the quiet, in between moments, when you're just being you. And this is exactly when his eyes drift to your eyes, but not in the romantic, poetic way movies show. He's not looking into your eyes to read your soul. He's looking because your eyes reveal what your energy is doing. Men don't consciously think this way, but their nervous system does. Your eyes are the first place he feels your emotional temperature. Warm, distant, curious, playful, shy, guarded, all of it shows up there before you even speak. And when a man is turned on by you, when he's drawn in beyond logic, he studies your eyes as if they're telling him a secret he hasn't been given permission to hear yet. Your eyes do something to him, something he can't explain without sounding vulnerable. Because when you look at him, really look at him, his chest tightens in a soft, almost painful way. Not because he's nervous, but because something in him feels exposed. Your gaze meets a part of him he usually keeps hidden. And that's exactly why he keeps checking your eyes when he feels attracted. He wants to know if you feel it too. There's a spark, a warmth, a tiny shift in the air he senses when your eyes connect with his. Even if it's just a second, even if it's just a glance, it hits him like a pulse, fast, warm, immediate, and he tries to hide it, but his body reacts before his mind can cover it up. Most women believe men stare at their bodies first, but the truth is his attraction is written in where he looks when he's trying not to make it obvious, and that's your eyes. It's where he checks for permission without words. It's where he looks for emotional safety. It's where he feels that magnetic pull that tells him she changes something in me. When he's talking to you and you look down, he watches. When you look back up, he feels it. When your eyes soften, his whole nervous system relaxes. Your eyes tell him if you're open to connection or if he should slow down. They show him if he's welcomed or if he's guessing. They reveal whether he should lean closer or stay where he is. And when he's turned on, truly turned on, he keeps returning to your eyes because they are the one place he cannot hide from. Your eyes make him feel seen in a way he rarely experiences. They challenge him, soften him, excite him, and disarm him at the same time. It's a feeling men don't talk about, but they feel deeply. That's why he stares. That's why he lingers. That's why he loses his train of thought when your eyes meet his. Because in that moment, it's not just attraction anymore. It's connection. Quiet, warm, electric connection. The kind he feels in his chest before he feels it anywhere else. There's one more thing men stare at when they're truly turned on, and almost no woman realizes it. It's not your curves, not your lips, not your legs, not your hair. Those catch his eye, but this holds his attention in a way that he can't explain even to himself. And it's strange because it's not even a physical feature. It's something softer, quieter, something you don't even notice yourself doing. He stares at the way your energy shifts around him when you're comfortable, curious, or just slightly playful. Not your words, not your movements, your energy, the vibe you give off without trying. The subtle changes in your nervous system that show up in your breathing, the way your shoulders relax, the softness that slips into your face, the ease in your voice. Most women underestimate this completely, but for a man, it's intoxicating. You don't realize it, but when you're around him and you feel safe even just for a moment, your whole presence changes. Your breath gets a little deeper. Your voice becomes warmer. Your eyes soften just a little. Your body moves in this slow, unhurried way that signals something ancient inside him. His primal instinct doesn't just react to what he sees. It reacts to what he feels from you. And that's what he stares at. Even when he pretends he's not looking. Even when he glances away quickly, hoping you didn't notice. This is the thing that draws him in so quietly, but so powerfully that he can't rationalize it. He doesn't think, oh, her energy is soft today. No. He just feels something in his chest loosen, something in his stomach drop, something in his nerves wake up. Sometimes it's the way you walk into the room with a tiny smile that looks like it's meant for no one, but something tells him it's meant for him. Sometimes it's the calmness in your movements, the way you tuck your hair behind your ear with a little absent-minded grace. Sometimes it's the way your eyes linger on him just half a second longer than necessary. That half second changes him. It sends a spark straight through his nervous system. He doesn't analyze it. He just feels it. And feeling is what turns him on more deeply than anything visual. He can sense when you're rushing, guarded, or distracted. And he can sense when something in you drops a little, some wall, some tension, some layer of self-protection. When your body shifts from, I'm fine to I feel good right now, he feels it like a wave, a warmth, a pull. And here's the secret most women never hear. A man doesn't fall for the woman who looks the most perfect. He falls for the woman he feels the most peaceful, excited, and welcomed around. Your energy is what creates that blend, that balance, that chemistry. So when he stares at you during those quiet moments when you're not posing, not performing, not trying, he's staring at the woman underneath everything. The woman whose presence affects his nervous system in a way he can't control. The woman who makes him feel alive and calm at the same time. Your energy is the thing he keeps coming back to, even if he doesn't know why. So now that you've heard these 5 hidden things men stare at, take a moment and let it sink in. Because none of them were about perfection. None were about being the prettiest woman in the room. Every single one of them was about the tiny signals you don't even realize you're giving, the softness in your eyes, the shift in your breath, the calm in your voice, the warmth in your energy, the unconscious movements your body makes when you feel safe and seen. That's what men notice. That's what turns them on. That's what pulls them in. And the beautiful part, you don't have to perform. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to push. When a man is genuinely drawn to you, your natural presence is enough. Your nervous system speaks before your words do. Your energy creates the kind of connection he can't explain, the kind he remembers long after the moment ends. So if this opened your eyes, if you caught yourself thinking, oh my God, he has actually looked at me like that, then don't stop here. There is so much more about men that you've never been told. If you want deeper insights into male psychology, attraction, and the emotional patterns most men never admit out loud,